Hello, everybody who is watching. How are you guys tonight? Hey, Adam. Welcome our wonderful guest, who is a foreign ally in the paranormal and unexplainable field, Miss Kathrine.
Hey guys,
Is it Sorilos?
Sorilos, that's right.
I wasn't sure how you pronounce it, but it looks like that. So, Miss Kathrine is. I'm gonna let her tell you most of the things because what I picked up isn't even probably half of what she has certification in. But demonology, parapsychology, investigations, and psychic medium. And you want to tell us the rest of your expertise?
I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I do past life regression. I am a Reiki master teacher. I am the co-founder of Daughters of Hecates. We do mysterious tours together with Michelle Roos from it's from with Mysterious Tours. I'm also the regional director for RIP Riverside, Iowa Paranormal. Yeah, a bit of everything, I think.
Do you want to do it like that, or should we do it like we had it?
No, like we had it, I think.
Okay. Or like that? Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. Some people don't like to be really big, and they're like, "Oh no, do it, turn it back, fix it back." She has a lot of knowledge in many different areas that I'm curious about. We're going to talk about some conspiracies tonight because we wanted to redo the platform of the Spectral Sailor after the 1 year mark. I kind of wanted to go like a certain direction with it, and I told Jason I wanted to do conspiracies for a while because there's so many different things to talk about. So, Miss Kathrine was telling us about some stuff about the Philadelphia experiment. So I'm going to let her talk about that. And I see, thank you for sharing the link, Riverside, Iowa Paranormal.org for Kathrine's full bio. Visit this site. Candy said.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Hi, Candy. There's a lot of people on here. Hi, Kelly. And
I can
Adam.
share this on your page too while you're telling them what you were telling me about the Philadelphia experiment. I'm going to share this on your page.
Okay. I can't pronounce it. It was the USS Destroyer. Eldridge, right? So we were talking about the Philadelphia experiment. Everybody's seen the movie. They call it a conspiracy theory, but that ship actually was sold to the Greek Navy. And in Greece, it's compulsory to serve the army. So you either go to the Air Force, the Navy, or you're a Marine, whatever. So I've got two friends in Greece which were in the Greek Navy. They're in the 50s at the moment. And we were having one of those conversations like we are at the moment, but we're sitting over with drinks and just talking about it. When that ship was sold to Greece in 1951, they changed the name. It still stayed as a destroyer, and it changed its name to Leon. So the two friends that served on that ship, they told me that where the activator was when the experiment went on, they've sealed that little room with a substance that's like a gel form, and they didn't know what kind of substance. They've never seen that substance. When they went near the room to try and open the door or touch the substance, they got really, really sick. And one of them fainted and woke up 3 days later with a lot of issues. So I think that place is still active in there. That little room is still active. Now, the same substance, as I was telling you, Rosie, is in one of the caves in Athens in Greece, in the Pendelic cave. When you go up to that cave up on the road, it's straight, but then the magnetic field makes your car go backwards.
Oh my gosh.
And that is when a lot of people, and myself as well, from that cave, from a little hole, we've seen people come out with hoods, long cloaks and hoods. And that's where I had my first encounter with two greys. and they actually the people that were behind the hooded people, what hiding behind them, because as soon as they saw humans, like they hid back into the cave, and they sort of the people with the hoods and the long the cloaks, they looked at us like angrily, like, what are you doing here? I mean, we ran off. So because there were a lot of sightings and a lot of people were saying that they've seen cloaked people up there and greys, that little hole was sealed again. When we went up there again, it was sealed with the same substance that was on the Leon ship.
Oh, wow.
And that cave has got a lot of military stuff in there, like tanks and missiles and a lot of hidden stuff in there. So they've sealed it off with the same substance, and that was, yeah, it was really interesting.
If you have questions, Jason, I know you will with this stuff. You can go ahead and ask them.
I was gonna say, did you tell everybody where you're at right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I am in America. I'm in Iowa.
Iowa.
Mhm.
Where are you originally from?
I'm Greek Australian.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. My parents were Greek, and they moved to Australia in the 1970s, and that's where I was born. So I've lived half my life in Australia, and the other half in Greece, and 4 years in Scotland, and now I'm in America. So yeah, a gypsy. I'm traveling around the world.
That's why you don't have the very, very Greek, like completely
No,
accent.
No, but I can speak fluent Greek because it's my mother tongue. So yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've got the Aussie accent.
Aussie,
Okay.
yeah. I like the Aussie accent. I don't hear it as much as I hear Irish, Scottish, or English.
Yeah, no.
I
Sorry?
was gonna, yeah. I just said I don't hear it as much as I hear Irish, Scottish, and English. I thought somebody said something, but it doesn't say what they said. If y'all have any questions, ask. Feel free, enter your questions into the comments or whatever. And we had talked about some other alien stuff too. I know in like voice messages or whatever, and like some theories that you had possibly about like what is the where did they come from? Like, where are aliens really aliens, or angels really aliens, or angels really aliens, or demons? And
Okay.
your theory, yeah, I want to crack that nutshell. Let's crack that nutshell.
All right. Now, if you take everything that's been written in the Bible, I'm going to get burned for this. I know. If I was in the Middle Ages, they would have burnt me at the stake.
I will too, probably. I'm Christian, but I'm very open-minded, and I believe in more than one religion. So I don't know what you call that. I think
everything is man written, and it's been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten over and over. And I mean, the stories have changed. Each time a new story is written, it has been changed and putting their own wordings, their own history in it. So don't forget that a lot of the old scriptures and writings were in the Alexandria, the library in Alexandria in Egypt. They got burnt. A lot of them are hidden in the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want us to know. Like, for instance, I'll give you a small example. We've got Archangel Michael in religion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in ancient Greek history, he is the god Apollo, the sun god.
Yeah.
And in ancient Egypt, he is the god of the sun god again. So see how all falls into one place.
And then Roman,
And Roman,
very similar to Greek.
exactly.
The
Like
gods, they line up together, kind of. Yeah.
Archangel Gabriel,
Mm-hmm.
he's the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
The Greek god Hermes, which is in English, it's Mercury. He is the messenger.
Yeah.
In the Celtic religion, it's Loki.
Uh-huh.
See how all of it is similar?
Yeah, and then you always have your gods of the underworld, or gods
Exactly.
of passage from life into passage into the underworld, or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like that's with Hecate. Hecate is the Greek goddess of life and death.
Uh-huh.
She's the Titan. She's a Titan. She was the only one that's allowed by the gods of the Greek gods to roam Earth the sky, the sea, and the underworld. She holds all the keys to all dimensions and all portals. But together with Hermes, which in Greek is the Epsilon, and her name in Greek is Epsilon, those two go together. He brings the dead to her. She takes the transition and takes them to the next life. And they connect as one.
And that's that you said, I know you pronounce it different, but you're talking about Hermes, right?
Hermes. But in Greek it's Hermes.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your Delphic Epsilon, since you've Epsilon with the E, the Delphic E.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that. That's neat. That's really awesome.
So a lot of them are like I said, the man written. So it is like, to me, the fallen angels. Are they really fallen? Did they actually fall, or did they come to watch? Because they call them the watchers. And they taught the world. They taught them how to read, how to write, how to build things. They gave them knowledge.
So do you think like Prometheus would have been one of them?
The who?
Prometheus, he stole the fire.
Prometheus, yeah,
Give it to
Prometheus.
man. Would have
He's
been
one of them. He's one of the Titans. Apparently, the Titans and the fallen angels came in contact with the humans.
Yes.
And they gave birth. The human women gave birth to the Nephilim, which the Nephilim in Greek ancient history is the Titans, which gave them knowledge. So there's a lot of things that make that when you read them and you think about it, it's like in Indian religion, in the Aztec religion, in the Mayan religion, every story, everything that's been carved on caves, you can see there's spaceships, there's people like in spacesuits.
Yeah.
So they've seen them. They've come in contact with them.
Giants with the little people sitting in their lap, like they're
Exactly.
They're a god and it's their human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the ancient Egyptian gods. They were all with different faces, like you had them in a serpent face or a crocodile face. So
yeah, I like her. I don't remember if she's called the Crocodile Queen or whatever. The Alligator Queen. Yeah, I like her.
So, I mean, the pyramids, they were built, they say, by humans. No, they were built by them. And the Atlanteans, they were the first that came down. The first, they called the Atlanteans are the same as the Titans, as the Nephilim. So they're all just given different names, but it's all the same. It's exactly the same. And yes, we are the missing link. And yes, there is alien DNA in our blood. And that's why we've got psychic powers like telepathy, telekinesis, pyrokinesis. That's in our DNA from generations and generations and millions of years back.
Yeah.
And spiritual gifts that we have, that it's all from them.
I've never studied like pyrokinesis like as a real thing, but I've studied being able to change things with your mind and move
manifestation.
With your mind. Yeah, and being able to like actually telekinetically hijack someone with your mind, or put your thoughts, control their thoughts or whatever. But I haven't ever studied pyrokinesis. Yeah, pyrokinesis. I was going to say pyrokinetic. I don't know what I was going to say.
That you can do it with. You can actually do it with a flame, like not touching it, but looking at a flame, and actually, it's the same as doing telekinesis. Exactly the same.
Okay, I've heard of a candle. It's like a candle.
That's how you practice first. You practice with a small candle,
that.
And then you can manifest it coming out of your hands, like with a smoke or. Never done that one, but it's there. It's in our DNA.
So it's kind of like you're actually becoming one with the flame, so that it becomes part of you, sort of, and then you can actually, if you learn to control it and harness it, then you can use it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you've heard of people combusting in flames. It's
Yeah.
rare, but it happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I always wondered how that happens.
Yeah, it's like they're building up the fire from within.
Hmm.
So there's a
What do
lot
you think?
out there.
I mean,
Sorry?
and like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what do you think the end goal with all that is? If we're, if we have their DNA and everything, but they're not really, around like they were, like what are they just sitting back watching what we do, or what do
Jace,
you think?
they were around. They were around. We lived amongst them. They lived actually with us. We lived
Hmm.
happy with them in the ancient times. But like example, the Atlanteans, for instance, right? They used to there were the humans, there were the Atlanteans, there were the fairy world, the Fae people, right? And the Atlanteans used the Fae people as weapons against the humans.
Hmm.
So they sunk. Atlantis sunk, disappeared. The fairies disappeared. So before all this, that we used to be able to live with them like the Egyptian gods. They used to live among us. The ancient Greek gods, they used to live among us.
Hmm.
And then, I mean, when used to say that they came down in a cloud, they came down in a spaceship. When they started we're going to take it back to the Anunnaki in Mesopotamia and things like that. So
Hmm.
when they did come down and gave us the knowledge, that, like I said, they lived happily with us. We respected them,
Yeah,
but we became arrogant
and greedy.
and greedy
Yeah,
and shoved them to the shadows.
yeah, and I think that they did that amongst themselves too. Like you said, that the Fae were used for something that they probably didn't want to be used for
Exactly.
because the other ones were more dominant or
Hmm.
sought to be more powerful than them to use them to their advantage.
To their advantage.
And it's so sad. That is
Because
very
when
sad.
they first came down from from Sirius and to our planet, they came looking for gold.
Yeah,
And if you read in the Bible, it says that the women's long hair shined like gold because we've got gold in our body. We've got gold, we've got metals in our body, right?
yeah,
So they fell in love with that. And apparently they were immortal, but the oxygen in our earth, made them grow older, made them
yeah.
immortal, so they died.
The atmosphere here wasn't fit for them, and
That's right. The
also,
atmosphere was not. A lot of them say they disappeared in the hollow earth.
yeah, yeah. And there have been so many stories and discussions and interviews, supposedly, and accounts of people that I don't know if you call them adventurers or cave dwellers or like spelunkers or
Hmm.
like they do mountain climbing and that kind of stuff, and they go down into the earth. That there's several accounts that have been witnessed to have seen giants in I don't
In the
know
caves, they
if it was
found giants.
Greenland or where, but it was somewhere that was frozen and somewhere that was iced over, and there were these
Hmm.
ice giants. And then I know that you also have your case that didn't happen very long ago of the creature that was a giant that was found in a cave that speared an army soldier and killed him, and then was gunned down by the rest of the men that were there. And then they were told not to speak about it. They wrote documents about it and they had to trash them and rewrite the account
Exactly.
to fake it. And then some helicopters came in, or some kind of military vehicle came in and took the giant, rid it of him, and then some kind of special actual device that had never been used was being tested in the location and was
Hmm.
detonated there to kill any of them that were left behind. I know about that story. I don't remember
Yeah,
where it
it
Canada
just
was, I
disappeared
think.
in thin air, just like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they've covered a lot of there's so many out there testimonials from so many people about abductions every day.
yeah.
No one hears about it.
That's true.
especially, and now it has become. I feel like people are more brave to step forward right now than
Mm-hmm.
they have been before. Sorry, I'm trying to highlight some of the comments. You have a bunch of friends and stuff saying hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Derek and Adam said, "Love this subject." Brianna says, "Hey, you're Catherine watching
Hi,
with
Brianna.
love," and Liz and Robert walk.
And Derek and Candy and Kelly. Everybody's here. Hi, guys.
Have you been to Pine Gap? What do you think about the theory that aliens are kept there?
Okay, Robert, this is my first time in the USA. I've never been to the USA. This is
I
my
haven't been
first
there.
time, and I've only been here 3 weeks. So I would love to visit all these places. And
I wrote it
yeah,
down just in
so-
case if you want to put it on your list.
oh, yep, I will. I will. So, yep.
So, what do you think the theories are between, about abductions? What is behind that? Like, why are they abducting people?
Okay, why do I believe? Because, like I said before, I'm not going to say that we are an experiment. I don't like using that word. Okay, that they entwined their DNA with our DNA and wanted to see our how we evolved, and that's why I believe that there's been like abductions. Is like they go to certain places and they abduct a mass of people from the same area, and that's just to see we've how we have evolved as a race. And I believe, well, people say that we've been tested up. People have actually said that they've been tested upon, they've been poked, they don't remember anything. It's like going to the doctor and having a full checkup. That's what they're doing.
Hmm.
I think they'd also
Does
be
that make sense?
possibly like testing to see now that they interwove their DNA into us and they could not survive here before,
Mm-hmm.
that we are them surviving now here without them dying out because they couldn't make it here.
Exactly.
Like
And
that.
to see if we're involving, if we are actually using the abilities that they've given us, but we're not. We're
Yeah.
not. We are so greedy with money and working and hating people and war and this and that, and we've forgotten how to involve,
Yes.
how to go to the highest level because we can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want to see, but we're not doing it.
That is like every day I wake up and I do everything I can to try to be closer, at least until the day I die. I may not ever make it to what, I could be, but the saddest thing in the world to me every day is encountering many, many people that I feel I'm so sad that they don't even understand or want to evolve.
Exactly. And
It's so sad.
I mean, I'm going to say this as a joke, but there's some truth in it. I think that's why they're sort of abducting us to find out what the hell has gone wrong.
Why are we
What are
not?
we doing? Yeah.
Why are we stuck
Why are we
asleep?
stuck? But I think a lot of people slowly are opening up and coming to the accepting the gifts. Don't forget, our gifts are there, and we from Middle Ages of being burnt at the stake for doing things right.
Yes.
When Christianity, I swear to God, they're going to burn me up there. When when Christianity came in and
Take a
put blink,
security detail with you when you go out in public. No,
yeah, and they put blinkers on the people, on like it was like a mass, because I mean Christianity became a cult.
yeah,
So
I would agree with that implication.
every other religion died. All other beliefs died. There's people that have kept them, like the Hindus, the Buddhists. They've kept their own religion, but all of a sudden everybody became Christian. So this is the Christian way, and you shouldn't believe the pagan way. You shouldn't believe this, and whoever makes herbs and believe stars. And I mean, ancient Egyptians had their own astronomers. They had different people for different things, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden that ceased to exist. In the Middle Ages, if in the 1800s, the 1700s, 1600s, if you did anything with herbs, you're a witch. If you were looking at the stars, you're a witch. Let's burn them. But there were people
Which
with
is
gifts.
crazy.
So those gifts went to remission. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden now, people are waking up again. Their gifts are waking up
Mm.
because they've always been there.
I'm
Our gifts have
so
always been there.
thankful. Yeah, I'm like very thankful that right now I think that we're in like such a good time for this to be discussing these things and for people to be learning how to do these things. Like right now is like something I dreamed of when I was a teenager. That there would be people like me and I
Hmm.
wouldn't be crucified at school. I would go to school and people would do this to me when I walked by.
Yep.
And you know how terrible that is to be a certain way and no one else connects with you. They would rather act like you're a disease or you're
Yep.
evil or you're mean or you're terrible when you would never harm a flea. They'd rather do that than understand you.
No, it's because they were raised like that from the parents. It's like, this is evil stuff. You shouldn't believe in that stuff. That's evil. That's the devil stuff. But it's not that. Those are things inside us.
I could probably agree with what she said. That some people might not be meant to believe. Like maybe they have another role in this story. Some of them that won't ever
Uh,
evolve.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, I understand what Pamela's trying to say. But question, I think some people are meant to understand, believe. I think it's by design. No, yes and no.
I do
Yes and
believe we
no,
have free
I would
will,
say.
though. I think free will
Yes, we
comes
do
into
have
play
free
with
will.
that. And we
We do
choose to
have
do
free
that
will.
or choose to steal something in a gas station or kill somebody or be a good person or not be a good person.
So, kind of what you're saying is like the people throughout history who are like Tesla, Einstein, and those kind of people tapped into the, the things that they were supposed to. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
They were
Yep.
elevated.
Exactly what I'm saying. They were
And
very
that's why they
elevated.
were weird or they were crazy.
William Reich, he made the orgonites. I don't know if you've heard of orgon or the orgonites. Um, he made a little metal box where he would put people in there, and he would with the magnetic field based on Einstein and Tesla, he would heal cancer, and they put jail for that.
You cut out just a little bit. He said he put him in a
Look
metal
up
box.
orgon. It was less a point of copper and other substance. Orgone means a substance of living things. Like he would put cotton. He will put copper. He will put things that were like, because I know it in Greek. I can't remember. I'm going to translate it now from Greek to English because I've read it in Greek. So, and that actually, that vibration, the magnetic fielding that has cured people from diseases and cancer, and that they made him go to jail for that. Because the pharmaceutical companies did not accept it.
Yeah, there's always someone that
And
doesn't accept every breakthrough idea.
exactly.
Some big entity that doesn't accept it.
Yeah. So, what are people like Nostradamus? What is your opinion on somebody like that?
To me, he was a great prophet. he foreseed. That he had premonitions and precognition, but because he was with the church, they believed him. If he wasn't involved in the church, he would have been dead, or killed, or burnt, or hung. But because he was
Yeah.
doing it around the church, it was okay.
Mm.
See, the church plays a big role.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it was like, back then, like you were saying earlier, for sure, yeah, we have issues not be able to speak out or anything like that, but
Exactly. And Jesus, when Jesus came to this earth, he was like, he didn't like he hated he didn't want the church. The Jerusalem. Remember when he went and destroyed the Jerusalem church, the church of Solomon, because everybody from outside there was just selling and
Mhm.
buying and taxing people. And he goes, this is not God's home. It's like you're sacralating it. So he didn't teach that. So they crucified him. His
right,
own people crucified him for that.
right.
So ever since then, the church plays a big role. If it's Christians, if it's Judaism, if it's Jews, I'm going to get burnt here. Yep, but anyway, yeah, those ones.
No, you're not.
No, I'm only
No.
joking.
I hope you don't.
No.
Not anytime soon.
No.
Hey, Tim.
So you talked about Jesus for a second. Does he go back to being part of the superior alien race, or was he actually the son of God? What's your opinion on that?
Okay.
I would actually like to know this because I do think he was a great being or person, but I don't exactly know how to explain what makes him him.
Was he the Messiah? I can't answer that. Like, I can't say he was the Messiah, right?
I don't
Is
even think we'll ever be able to answer that. Ever.
no, was he? I actually spoke to once upon a time a Jew friend of mine, and he told me, he goes, they don't believe that, they believe in Jesus, but they don't believe he's the Messiah, right? They're still waiting for the Messiah. He told me that every 480 years that there's children like that all over the world born with those abilities like Jesus had, and they take them away at a certain age and teach them all the religions, all the abilities, all the powers. Don't forget, Jesus, from 12 to 30, he disappeared.
Right.
And he traveled the world. So I've had a book, it's called The Seven Faces or The Nine Faces of Jesus, and it shows the story of it's saying the story of Jesus when he traveled from the age of 12 up to 30 to learn every single different religion and in depth. It's a book. I will find it and I will post it at one point. It is. I read it in Greek, but I will try and find it in English. It is, and I read this book when I was 20, 22, and I'm 50 now. So it was an amazing book. It was like, when I think about it and go back again to it, it's like, oh my God, this is so true. This is so true. This is so true. Like, when I started learning about our gifts, when I started learning about the different religions, when I studied different religions, everything made sense. And he didn't teach follow me. He taught love.
Yeah.
Be simple. Love. Give. So yeah, he did have gifts. He learned how to use his gifts, his psychic gifts, his spiritual gifts. Yes.
I think it's a gift it's just a gift within a person if they can actually keep those thoughts, morals, and actions in their person
Mm-hmm.
without being affected by all of the people in the world that you come in contact with all the time. That is a gift within itself. If you can still remember to be able to love people and overlook everything that they have done and that they do, and you never give up on people. You, what is it?
Exactly.
Unconditional love. Yeah, if you can
And
unconditionally love people, you are gifted.
was he a normal human being? Yes, he was. He was married to Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, there's a theory of that
Want to say it
of
out
that.
there in the religion? Nope. Yeah.
Adam had
Yeah.
a question. How did you discover your ability for energy healing?
Okay, Adam, your ability for energy healing falls in the category of we've got us gifts of like I explained for the beginning, like your psychic gifts, and then you've got your spiritual gifts, which is mediumship, which is the ability to heal. It's the ability to see things, hear things, have all your clairsentience, your clairs open. Um, everybody has got the ability, I believe, to heal. You will feel it. Like, to me, when I started having the ability to heal, I found out by people coming to me and telling me the problems from a very young age. My
Mm-hmm.
friends, they would come to me and they'll talk to me about the problems, and then they'll be feeling relieved, or they'll be crying and they'll be like, "Thank you, that helped what you just said." And I don't know what the hell I was saying, but yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but just the fact that you didn't wait for them just so you could talk, that you actually
Sat down and talked. I was just
listened.
listening.
Yes, and it
Or I
seems like
would touch them, give them a hug, and that would give them
yeah,
a warmth or comfort. And that's when I realized that I do have everybody, you've got them. Rosie's got them. Josie's got all those abilities. We all have those abilities. They're there.
Hmm.
he said thank you for your reply.
You're welcome.
Adam is he is our number one watcher from day one, the first episode
Hmm.
we ever had. Yeah, he came and met us when we had a Paracon and a Fear Fest last year. He came and met me and Jason.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. He's very
Yeah,
sweet. I've talked to Adam, so
yeah.
yeah, he's a trooper. Yeah,
Hey, paranormal consultant and Paranormal Nation Radio. I saw you earlier too. Um, so I have a question, and this is a personal question that I've struggled with. The more that I dive into or exercise, um, to try to basically see what my purpose is, and to open myself up to use whatever knowledge or strength or gift that I might have. How do you, or how would you explain? I don't want this to sound bad. Hopefully, it doesn't.
say it in your own words.
Sometimes there are people that are very effing dark,
Yeah.
and you can see it or feel it, but not know it. But they actually hurt you
Hmm.
by you giving your gift to them. It actually hurts you.
What do you mean by helping them?
Yes, that you
Yes.
actually hurt afterwards.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Perfect.
It happens a lot
Hmm.
to
That's
me.
because you're an empath. You're sensitive, so
Mhm,
you sense their negativity or the darkness or however you want to call it. To
mhm,
me, those are people that suck energy. They're the
mhm,
so-called psychic vampires. They do suck energy because they are an empty shell, so they need that. It's like this:
mhm.
the inside is cold, so they need to get warm. You're a light, you're a beacon, so they come to you because you give them light, you give them warmth. It's
That
like
makes a lot of sense.
when you've got lost souls or earthbound souls, or souls that are looking to go to someone that can, a medium or a psychic, their light burns really bright. That's why a lot of um souls go to that person to talk to pass to communicate. Don't
Hmm.
forget that souls, human souls, as they were when they were alive, That's how they are as they're dead. They will not change. The only thing that happens with earthbound souls is that after 3-4 months, memories start going away. They don't remember things.
Mm-hmm.
The more they're earthbound, the more they forget. And that's where they stay in one place because they can't remember where they've been or how they're going, where they're going.
That
Does
makes
that
sense.
make Yep.
Yes. Do you have a point then that where you actually have to ever stop working with someone because it becomes so bad, and you see that it's not going to in any way um, benefit either one of you?
Yeah, I've done that.
Because it's hard.
Yep,
when
I've
you're
done
an
that.
intern.
You've given everything you can. You've
Yeah.
helped as much as they can to their knowledge. If they can't accept the help and if they don't want it, you got to close that cycle.
Yeah, because
You
sometimes
got
it
to
gets
just say,
so affecting like you that you really like almost become defeated and you have to you or you know what I mean? It's you or defeat. I can't I don't
exactly,
feel like
exactly.
someone that's supposed to have a gift, I don't feel like and they're supposed to help others. I don't feel like they need to be defeated before their time is due.
But yeah, so if you're going to sit there and do it, like, for instance, if you're in a relationship that's abusive
Mm-hmm.
and the person you're with is abusing you mentally, physically, emotionally, and they're very dark, and you think you can fix it because we think as humans that we can fix that. So
Mm-hmm.
we try and try and try and try. That breaks us down. That breaks
Yeah.
our light down. So you got to go, once you get to the point where you can't, just walk away.
Pray and let it go. Release it in
Exactly.
the air.
Walk away.
I've done that before. Just send prayers in
Exactly.
the air and ask for the best and hope for it.
I mean, like I said, you can try, but if the person doesn't want to be fixed, he won't get fixed.
Yeah, I think sometimes
They
I've started
consume.
realizing more now that I'm 41. I realize
Hmm.
more now than I ever did before. When I was younger, I actually tried to harm myself because I thought that other feelings were mine. And it just overtook me and overcame me, and I didn't know what else to do. So I was a teenager at the time, and I really just at that time I didn't want to live anymore because I didn't know why I had this my head from head to toe I hurt and I didn't know why. I just hurt so bad. And it wasn't anything that I did or got myself into or anything that was a consequence of anything that I brought on myself. It just was like I hurt all the time and I was just like, why am I hurting all the time? And
It's
I didn't
because
know what to,
you were picking up everybody's pain.
yeah. It was
Because you're not just a sensitive where you can just feel it. You're actually taking it all in as an empath.
mm-hmm.
So, and that's why your whole body was hurting, like you were feeling their pain. It's like for instance, myself, I'm an anchor. So, what that means is that when a soul passes, it passes through,
Yeah.
and I feel their pain how they died. Exactly. If they died from a heart attack, I will feel it as a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
When I do Reiki, for instance, or I do a reading, or I do a mediumship, I will feel the pain of the person sitting across from me, or the person I'm healing, and the person they want to communicate with. So I pick it up. That's something you cannot switch off.
Yeah.
You will always have it. You will always feel it. You have to learn how to heal yourself for that, though. It took me a while to learn myself because um you don't have, if you tell anybody all this, like if you told your parents, they'll think you're crazy, or
Yep.
they'll think you can't talk about it. So
Or you need mental help or you're psychologically messed up or
exactly. So that's what you are. You're an empath, you're sensitive, you're psychic, you've got those gifts, honey. So that's why you're picking up all that. But you need to learn how to close it off. Doesn't close completely, but to ground yourself and to heal yourself.
Yes, I do. And someone said to ask to be used as a funnel, like so it goes through and there's another opening so it actually leaves.
That's the anchor. That's an anchor.
Okay, I need to learn how to do that. Whatever that is, because
It's
I can
painful.
take it
It's
in me
painful, but
and hold it,
it's
so
yeah,
I can just keep it in me for so long, and it just like, oh, it'd be
exactly.
better
That's
if
it.
it just passed through.
Yeah,
I
you
wanted to
got to
ask
pass
that
it through.
because I feel like a lot of people that might be thinking about energy work or wanting to do energy work or wanting to be healers should know that kind of stuff before, because I always try to teach people what to expect, that
Hmm.
you can't just run blindly into this stuff because it sounds exciting, because it can turn out very bad
It can.
sometimes.
It can. It does have an effect on you physically. It can have an effect on you physically. So it can take a toll.
Uh, okay.
Any
Well,
other questions? Jason, go
well,
ahead.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
Jason's
say.
got questions. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, no. I was just gonna say that I'm not. That's a conversation for me to step out of because I'm not a sensitive or anything like that. So um, it's just interesting listening to the back and forth on what the subject matter is and people that may be needing to hear those things that are out there listening that don't know how to explain what's happening to them, what they're feeling, and why, and what's so and so called, and why is it how's it affecting them. It's always interesting to me, but it's I just don't experience it like Rosie or like you do. So
Tell her what happens to you, though, sometimes, what things happen to you.
I'm
no, I
listening.
mean, yeah, when we do our investigations and stuff, I have a lot more physical things happen to me. I get more like the touching or the scratches or things thrown at me or those kind of things. I don't know why it's like that, but um, it is like the spirits know exactly what they can do to me and what they can do to her. So
Hmm. Oh yeah, they're
it,
very intelligent.
it's like, well, we're not going to mess with this guy emotionally because it's just not going to work. So we're just going to throw something at him. So,
Exactly. Yep, they know. They're very intelligent. They know they're going to mess with Rosie emotionally, and they're going to try and grab your attention and say, "Hello, we're here. How are we going to do it? We're going to throw a rock. We're going to throw his hat. We're going to pull his beard. We're going to pull his hair." So they'll do different things.
yeah, that's exactly how it is. And she's feeling all these emotions or whatever, or has to, step outside because they're, you know, hitting her all at the same time. I'm just kind of like, okay, I have no idea what's going on because I'm not feeling the same thing. But, and then, something might happen or, something might tug on my ear or something like you said.
And that's how you guys balance things out between the two of you with investigations, because Rosie picks up the emotional state of what has happened in the place. So she picks up the prints, the imprints,
Mm-hmm.
and she picks up the story of the place, and she picks up the pain. She picks up the story of the spirits that are there, and they try to prove to you, because you're a bit of a skeptic, Jason, aren't you? I know that they're there. We are
Right.
here. So they
Yeah.
try and
They're,
grab your attention physically.
right. Like, here, have this piece of glass. Bam.
Yeah.
you know,
And
hit
other
me.
things, water bottles and remote controls and all kinds of stuff, action figures and yeah,
Yeah, it's
food.
definitely food. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
it's
he's a
definitely.
man, he can take it. Let's throw a bottle
I
at him.
think that that's what I've always questioned. That's why I wanted him to kind of tell you what happens, because I don't know. Sometimes it freaks me out, and I'm like, why is this stuff happening? Should I run and hide, or what should I do?
You were born to do this.
Thank you.
You were born to do this. To
I'm
bring
not,
out the message to
yeah.
the living.
My mom used to tell me that when I was little, that I
Oh,
was different and I wouldn't be like anybody else ever.
yeah,
So
there you go.
Yeah,
I'm
I,
posting your comments for your events and stuff that your friends, I guess you're there's like your work colleagues are
Yep,
posting.
they Candy is She's Riverside, Iowa Paranormal.
Yeah.
Yep, and she's a beautiful person. And also, she runs. If you guys want to get in the world's largest ghost hunt,
Mm-hmm.
Candy runs the participants committee. She's the chair of the participants committee. So she does. She's with the coaches. She does the teams. Takes care of the teams, the locations, and all that. So that's what Candy does.
So if you have an event and you want to register it for that to participate, you contact her.
Yeah, contact Candy
Okay.
for the world's largest ghost hunt for that, and also for the if you want to put an event out there, you can do it through Thriller events.
I've seen that place before, and we do have an event coming up in the future.
Oh, it's good because with Thriller events, you put it up there. You do it yourself. You link your account there. You fix your platform the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Your event actually it's a platform where you fix your event. You put your photos, you put your location, your tickets that you want to sell, and it gets it all ready. And Candy can help you with that as well a lot. And then what happens after that, it goes into the Thriller event page on Facebook. It gets pumped out to all different pages in Facebook. If there's at that point where you're having the event, if there's, I think I'm saying this right, Candy, help me out here because I'm in Thriller as well with Michelle and Candy, but Candy knows more about it. So contact Candy and she will explain everything. But it's a good platform to put your event. That's for the world's largest ghost hunt here. That's Candy there, and she can help you with the Thriller event to put your event up there.
That's cool. Yeah, we definitely have time to
When
do
she
that.
posted that, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah. Okay, or add her as a friend on
Platform.
Facebook, and she will help you with all that.
Okay, awesome.
Didn't we? Wasn't we part of the world's ghost? Weren't we part of that last
Yeah,
year?
last year we were. Yep.
How was it, guys, for you?
We did. Was it Waverly?
Yes.
Oh, you did Waverly.
No,
Okay.
not Waverly.
No?
It was Salina, Kansas, a Masonic temple in
Oh,
Salina,
okay.
Kansas last September.
Okay, yeah. All right. So we're doing it this year, and myself and Michelle with the Daughters of Hecate's and Thriller events. Uh, we are the part of it as well. So it's going to be really major this year.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's especially if you make the goal to want it to always be better.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. It's under new management. It's going to go really well. It's going to really be a big hit this year. It's very organized. It's already very organized. We've got great people on the management planning. We've got great groups. I was the chair of the metaphysical group last year. So we've got great committees for promotions, for the participants, for the metaphysical. So yeah, you can sign up there, and Candy will help you with all that.
Awesome.
I remember when that was coming up, I was looking at all the locations that are on there. That was
a lot.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive list.
Yeah, no, it is. It's good. I enjoyed it last year. There you go. Thanks, Candy.
Oh, they have classes too.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said ask Candy. She knows all that.
Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Jen.
So,
you're late.
She said, "Yeah, sorry, I'm late in here." She must have been taking a nap because she has to take naps. Since we don't allow her to sleep, nobody does. Nobody lets her sleep. We keep her awake.
I
always keep her awake. Everyone does. Because some people are like, she never sleeps. But I'm like, but it's our fault. It's people's fault because they don't let her sleep.
Yep, I heard she doesn't sleep.
Oh, that's
cool. Yeah, we'll have to get with them on that. Um,
Hello,
something.
Johnny.
Hi, John.
Uh, so,
Uh,
yeah, you said you were in Iowa, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm staying in Iowa at the moment.
There's some places in Iowa that's pretty cool to check out. They got some. I think that's where the Velisca House is, right? Up in Iowa, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Um, I know there was somewhere else to check out up there too. It was pretty good, but
there's also something else that's like alien related, but I don't remember what it is.
In Iowa.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I've
sure.
only been, yeah, like I said, I've only been like 3 weeks here, so I'm gonna check out those places, all of those places. We are going to be doing some investigations with Michelle
yeah.
and Riverside Iowa Paranormal. So I think I'm going to get around.
Yeah,
Hey,
take advantage while you're here.
Yep.
the Field of Dreams is in Iowa. I know it's not paranormal related, but
The what?
the Field of Dreams. Yeah, it's a baseball
Oh yes,
movie.
the field of in the
It's in
cornfields.
Iowa.
Yep, with Kevin Costner.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
and corn. Lots of corn there.
Corn.
And where Riverside, Iowa is, apparently it's the birth of Star Trek.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No. Okay.
Yep. I found that out too.
It is.
It
I'm
is.
sorry. I thought you said Cedric, like Cedric the Entertainer. There's a guy named Cedric. And I thought you said Cedric, and I was like, no, she said Star Trek because I
I said
connected
Star
the
Trek.
dots.
Yeah.
I remember the corn and the Iowa and the Star Trek, all that stuff connecting. And I was like, oh, yeah, light bulb came on.
Mhm. So I'm in the center of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's awesome. I don't think I've ever been to Iowa. It's one of the states I haven't.
I have.
It's
Been
To
to there.
nice.
investigate the Edinburgh Manor in Scotch Grove, Iowa with Kathrine. Visit
There you
thriller.com.
go. That's
It
pretty cool.
sounds like a fancy
Mhm.
place, Edinburgh Manor,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we've
it
got a
is.
few. We've got a few coming up with Riverside, Iowa
I have to
Paranormal.
ask this. Is this the real Johnny Zaffis? If you're there, can you confirm that in any way?
I believe it is.
It is.
Is it okay? I know that sounds retarded, but
No, it's
No, it
Johnny.
is.
people hack people's stuff all the time. I know that a friend of ours, Mike Hess, he just had his Facebook hacked last week and was sending out requests for people to send him money. Whoever hacked it. So
I believe me and Johnny are friends on Facebook. I think so. Mm.
I didn't know his name was Johnny. That's why I was asking. I just knew him by John.
Okay.
Opa.
Exactly. Yeah, and with John, we'll be doing next year in we'll be doing a tour, a mysterious tour with Daughters of Hecate and Mr. Zaffis in Greece.
That'd be cool.
Really? He is Greek,
Yeah.
right?
Yep,
Zaffis
he's
is
got Greek roots.
Okay, the last name sounds Greek. Yeah.
Yep, it does sound Greek. So he
When I
does
heard
have
it.
Greek roots. And yeah,
Someday
So
I'm going to go back over there.
to
Go ahead.
Greece.
Yes.
Yep, the magnetic fields over there. It's very mysterious. It's an ancient country. Apparently, it's the center of the earth. Some places like they call it the uh,
Not that workable.
Omphalos. In Greek, it's Omphalos. I don't know how you can pronounce it in English. In Delphi, I don't know. Have you ever been to Delphi, or you've
The
only
Oracle
been
of
to Crete?
Delphi.
The Oracle of Delphi. Apparently,
No
that's
way.
where the center of the world is.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Okay. I think I might have read that somewhere, but I know everything that happened there. I actually did like a podcast over it. And when I was there, I actually sat in the library and studied like as much. Every time I went there, I studied as much about the history there and about the mythology there and the gods and goddesses and everything that I could while I was there, and tried to go to as many places as I could while I was there. In
It's
case
very.
I never get
I've
back.
been to the Delphi of the Oracle of Delphi. The energy there is very low, like very deep. Like you feel
Yeah.
sometimes like you're heavy.
yeah.
Like you're stuck.
Yep, like you're stuck. Don't forget that all the ancient Greeks went there to get the oracle from well, it's called Bithia, the
The
sitting on the tripod.
prophecies.
Yep, the prophecies.
Yeah.
and so there was a lot of people visiting. I mean, all the oracles, like there's one in Delphi, there's one in Dodoni. All those oracles are passageways to the underworld as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's a lot of necromancy on there, so it's very, very heavy, the
I did
energy
not
there.
know that part, but that would make sense why there would be heavy energy there.
Yep, the very heavy energy there.
I had read about them trying to debunk it and saying that the gases made her hallucinate, and she just said what she was hallucinating, and it wasn't real.
Oh no, trust me, when she predicted to Themistocles that the Greeks, when it was the war for the Thermopylae, and she predicted that the ancient Athenians need to stand behind the wooden wall, what she meant was for the ancient Athenians to stand behind the wooden ships.
Yeah.
So they can win the war at not Thermopylae. No, Thermopylae was Leonidas. Elefsina, in Elefsina. Oh, I can't pronounce it in English. Elefsinian. I think that's what it's called in English. So yeah, that was the war. And when he went to get the oracle, and that's what she told him, but they didn't know how to interpret it because she used to say things backwards. And yes, she used to chew bay leaves and smoke them, and she
Those are natural. People eat
so
them
yeah,
on everything. No.
she was always in a trance. She was sitting on the tripod, and she was always in a. There was not just one oracle. There were many oracles.
Yeah.
So they would sit on the tripod and predict. And yes, they would say things backwards, but you had to interpret it. They wasn't going to give you the answer just like that, or your love notes.
The village idiot may not know what she's saying, but if someone, probably entertained the thought that she might be telling the truth, then they might actually crack the code.
It took them a while to understand, but they saved the day.
Yeah. I always felt like that was actually a real thing, and I never thought that they just hallucinated from the gases. I don't know. You just have a feeling in you. Like when you're around your grandparents, you know that you're comfortable and safe or something, you're sure of that. Like I just had a sureness about like that was actually like a real thing, and it wasn't this hallucination from gases coming out of the earth.
No. It was like the Civila in the Civilas in the Antikythera mechanism. Okay.
I don't know what this is.
That's something that needs a lot of talking about. Very smart. Adam,
well, you're going to go on his show next week.
I am.
So
we can talk about that.
And I'll have to watch so I can know what this is.
So I don't know much about a lot of the Greek stuff there, but I know they say Hercules was an actual real person, right? So I mean,
he was a real person.
Yeah, wasn't he like he was in the Olympics, like for real, the first Olympics, like he was a real person?
He was a demigod.
They that's what they say, but they said
he was actually a demigod. He was the spawn of Zeus and I can't remember her name, but he was what we were talking about, the aliens putting their DNA at the beginning when we were saying about the aliens mixing the DNA with the humans.
Right.
Okay, that's what happened. Apparently, Zeus will metamorphosize himself into a golden rain or a cloud, and he would interact with the human women, and they will give birth to strong demigod babies, like Hercules, for instance. And there's your titans, not your titans. There are in religion, your Nephilims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like that's where you get that every religion has got the same base. But yes, he was a real person, Hercules. He did exist.
Didn't he statues the statues like Hercules there in Greece and everything, or do they?
Yep, we do have statues of Hercules. We've got statues of Alexander the Great, and the statues of all the gods.
No.
Like I was, as we were saying, Athena, the goddess Athena. She was born out of Zeus's shin or calf. There's your cloning.
Okay.
No, sorry, that was Hermes. Athena came out of his head.
Oh wow.
Okay, there's your cloning. They did say that in the ancient times they used to clone what they're trying to do now, but they're trying to clone a human with a human. Then it was a god or an alien cloning a hybrid.
Yeah. Which
Does
would
that
have
make
been a
sense?
lot more worth
Mhm.
all of that
Mhm.
than a human and a human. And just to
Yeah,
feel like you're one of those, like a god.
yeah. So it's metaphoric that he cloned Athena, like he gave her his DNA.
Okay.
So because don't forget that when a god and a goddess had a child, Zeus and Hera had a child, that was the god Hephaestus.
Mm.
So I think in English it's if Hephaestus, the god of
Yeah.
who made the weapons for all the gods and for all the demigods and for all the humans.
Hmm.
But it turned out that when don't forget that Zeus and Hera were brother and sister.
Hmm.
So they had the god Hephaestus, which was a child from a god and a goddess, but he was so ugly that Hera threw him off Olympus,
No.
right? And Zeus only had children with human women.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
That's
the
making sense.
DNA can change, can adapt.
Hmm. Do
Yeah.
you
See.
think that the spying, watching, being a guardian, coming to Earth, metamorphosizing, and kind of preying on human women would be similar to what you would call now um, a paranormal partner, or like a paranormal bride, or a spiritual bride, or a succubus incubus?
That's different.
It's different.
Yep, because you can't fall pregnant by a spirit, a human spirit,
Hmm.
like the ancient. They came in. Well, how can I explain it? An incubus and a succubus is like an incubus is the male version, the succubus is the female version, right?
Hmm.
I've never heard of any of them impregnating a human being.
Uh-huh.
Not as long as I'm alive, I've never heard of it. So, um, but I do believe that a human spirit cannot impregnate a woman because
Hmm.
that human spirit roamed the earth once upon a time. So it was human and it's energy. These the beings that we're talking about, these celestial beings that we're talking about, the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptian gods, the Greek gods, the Indian, the Hindu gods, they were actual gods that could shapeshift into anything they wanted
Hmm.
and take any form they wanted, even if it was rain, if it was a human form, if it was metamorphosized. For instance, Zeus became a Taurus. This is how Europe gave birth to all her countries because he came in contact with a woman called Europe, and she
Hmm.
gave birth to all the European countries.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
it's metaphoric.
Yeah.
It's metaphoric, but yes, they could. Gods and goddesses in those days could shapeshift, and they still can shapeshift. And that's why they say aliens can shapeshift, and they're shapeshifters, and they're hybrids, and like the reptilians, they shapeshifters. They can appear as humans, and the draconians as well.
Hmm.
That's that. But a human spirit, yes, it can touch a person. I mean, look at the movie Entity. That's a true story.
That's what I felt like. Those entities in that actual specific story were more than just
That's what
spirits.
exactly. It wasn't a human. Some say it was a human spirit. Others say it was an entity,
I think it
which
was
was
a human
non-human
spirit.
entity, right? So that yes, it can touch you. It can rape you. It can,
Yeah.
like like it did in that movie.
Hmm.
Okay. It needs a lot of energy. It needs to put a lot of energy to do that. Depends how strong
Yeah.
your energy is to manifest it, to make it. There are some evil entities out there that do bad things,
Hmm.
but not to impregnate a human being. I've never heard that.
So then you think the ones that impregnated were only gods or demigods?
There were the gods, demigods in those days. There were the so-called aliens in these days that we call them aliens, that came from different dimensions, different
Uh-huh.
planets.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just connecting dots.
That's my belief. That's what I believe. Other people might have different beliefs, but that's what I
Yeah.
believe. But does an entity can harm you? Yes, it can.
Mhm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It can. It can touch you. It
Do you think
can.
it could possess a human to impregnate someone?
Okay,
Like
that's
like an ancestral curse, sort of? Oh no, not 100%, but
okay. Okay, let's analyze that a little bit. So it can possess a human to impregnate somebody, but the baby will not be from that spirit. It'll
hmm,
be from that human's DNA.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree. That's how that would happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think about she tagged me in your resume, and it was a bunch of stuff. I was reading through there, uh, and it's it's impressive if nobody's ever looked at it. Go check it out. But like and all the things you do, what is your most enjoyable thing to do to either help people or just for your personal self?
The most enjoyable thing that I do,
Yeah.
Everything.
I would say everything. I love what I do. It doesn't pay, and I don't care. I love it. My hobby, you want to call it a hobby? You want to call it,
This is your
um,
favorite.
which one is my favorite?
So Jenny said finding my nuts.
Finding the nuts.
That's her favorite. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, I've worked on um, unsolved cases as well with police in Greece and in Australia. So when they do find the person that's missing, either dead or alive, that's what is fulfilling for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Giving peace to that family.
I got you.
It doesn't matter how long, how many years it's happened ago. It's giving peace, closing that cycle. Yeah, I don't do love notes. I say it straight as I say it.
Hmm.
Even when
Yeah.
I get people to come and do a mediumship reading, no, it's like, I'm not going to give you love notes. They love you and they want to send you a message, and grandma said that, and grandma
Yeah.
said this. I will say it straight as I say it. I don't sugar anybody's ears.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if they're showing it to you that way, there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If they're revealing it that way,
Exactly.
that's how they want
Exactly.
you to see it, and that's how they want you to convey it. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and trust me, like I said before, if someone's a human being as they were when they're alive, that's how they are when they're dead. The personality doesn't change. Like, for instance, I had a lady come in for a medium, this in Scotland, came in for a mediumship reading, and she wanted to come in contact with her husband. And I said to her, he's just standing there and he's looking at me like this, going, "Who are you?" And he wasn't talking to me. And I'm sorry, I go, but he doesn't want to talk to me. And he's just raised one eyebrow and he's looking at me going, "Who the F are you?" He was actually saying that. And she started laughing and crying at the same time. And she goes to me, "Yeah, and that's so funny because when I walked past this photo, I said to him, you better talk to this lady today because he hasn't spoken to any of the mediums. He doesn't like them."
Oh my gosh.
And I just turned around and I said to her, "I've got nothing to say except that he will see you on the 13th floor." And that's when she bursted out crying. And she said that was his last thing he said before he died. "I will see you on the 13th floor." I said, "That's all the message I have for you."
No,
And she was
That's
okay with
great.
that. So
yeah,
yeah, like I said, as they are when they're alive, that's how they are. They're dead. They're not going to
Yeah.
change.
I think sometimes that affects me too. If I go somewhere, I can tell, like, if someone was twisted inside, or if they stank when they died and they smelled weird, or if they were alcoholic, or
Yep,
all
you
of
will
that. You
feel
have to
all
say,
that.
yeah, all of that stuff
Being
that's
an
not.
empath as yourself, Rosie, you will feel it. You will feel it. You will smell it. That's when all your senses open up at the same time, like your five senses. You're touching, you're smelling, you're hearing, you're seeing things become very, very intense and magnified.
Mhm.
So you will feel it.
Someone said, Adam said he has goosebumps.
yeah, goosebumps.
So, what is the most like maybe unique or strange experience that you've had in any place that you've been so far, or just one that maybe if there's not only one that's like the most, just an example of one,
Oh
something
my
strange
God. There's so many.
or scary or something that was
Oh, scary. Okay, I'll give
very
you
scary.
scary.
To help.
Okay, we were investigating a place in Greece, right? This lady wanted us to. She had called many groups, paranormal groups, to come over, um, and every single one of them will give her what she wanted to hear, but not what she actually wanted. So she called us over there because in her backyard, in the bottom of her backyard, 5 meters deep, was a chest of gold from the time that the Turks had taken over Greece 480 years ago.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
In the place that her house was in, though, it was a tunnel that had ancient Greek relics under there, and that belongs to the government. It does not belong to her.
yeah.
Now, when we went there, and I told her, I said, this house belonged to a Turkish. He was called a Pasa in Greek. That's I can't remember what it's called in English.
What is it in Greece?
Uh, in Greek is I think in English it's Pasha or Pasas in Greek. Pasas means like he was some kind of a king, or he had that kind of territory. If you look it up in Greek, it's Pasas. So he
Like a
was,
governor or an
yeah,
ambassador?
something like that, something like that. But I got to find the word in English. I can't remember what the word in English is. So he lived in that house, all the time that the war was on and things like that. That was his territory. That was his house. That belonged to him. He had hidden his gold in there,
Mm-hmm.
in her backyard. So he was guarding the gold, a Dijin,
Oh, shit.
A gin?
a jinn,
Oh,
and they are,
Yeah.
dirty. Evil, ugly, nasty, dirty,
yes, very.
physically
So
harmful.
I went to the back. See, what happened was her husband, she knew about this gold. So her husband decided to open up the backyard. So as soon as he did, a big hole in it, green smoke came out. And actually it's like his body went copper, like green.
Her
And he
husband?
died from a heart attack.
Oh wow.
All of a
Oh.
sudden, in that year, her husband died on the spot. Her father, her uncle, all the males in the family except her son. So she was scared that she knew that this thing was cursed. She had found out it was cursed. So she was scared if her son's going to die if she touches it.
Ah.
So she called us and she said, can you see it? I said, I know where it is. I went right on the spot. I said, that's where it is, but you can't. And 5 meters I go down there, there's ancient Greek relics where you're not supposed to touch. They do not belong to you. She goes, I don't want them. She goes, I just want the gold. I said, the gold is there's a curse on it and it's guarded by a jinn. It does not belong to you. She goes, but do you know how to take it out and clean it?
Why
And
would she want it that badly? She started to become obsessed with it, didn't she?
yeah, she became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
She goes, can you clean it? Can you do? I said, I know how to do all that, but I'm not going to do it. This is whatever you've got in this house. It is cursed. Your whole house is cursed. I said, are you so obsessed with it that you will let your last male in the family die?
Exactly. And your child at that.
Exactly.
That's
She's but
crazy.
I'm poor and I need this money. And I said, she was obsessed with it. That's all she talked about. So it's really funny because we bought another team with us that looks like had the things that you look for gold and things like that. But they had
A metal detectorist?
sorry?
A metal detectorist?
Yeah, but they were not they were equipment like costing like $5,000.
Surveyors would use probably land surveyors and
They
stuff.
actually dug in and where I told them to dig in and they could see it. I could see it and it was just radiation all around the gold. And I'm thinking, and she like as soon as she saw it, her eyes just went like that. And she wanted to get it. And I said, no. I said, I'm not getting involved. You want to do it yourself. And then she started ringing me up and saying, please help me, please help me, please help me. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should, maybe she needs help, maybe. That night, when I said yes, maybe, I went back to her house. We spoke that I will try and help her and things like that. I came back home, and as I was lying on the couch, the TV started going on and off, on and off, on and off all the time. And I felt this presence, guys. It was the most evilest thing I've ever felt in my life in my house.
Wow.
It was so evil. Like, I went all cold and I didn't even turn around. All I heard was a voice saying that if you go back into that house, I'm not just going to destroy her and her son. I will destroy your family.
Oh my gosh.
And that was it. That was, I would say, one of the most scariest experience I've ever had. But that feeling, I've never felt it in my life before. That was bad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm talking about it now and I've got goosebumps.
Yeah. I can almost feel the woman's obsession.
Oh,
I don't know why, but I can like feel like she was afflicted.
Yeah, she was like, it was drawn to her to do something bad to close what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
leave it. When you find things like that and somebody tells you don't touch them, don't touch it. Leave it as it is.
Probably
It does
why
not
it had
belong
so
to you.
many different layers of protection on it. It was because I'm sure that it became a thing that many people would have killed for.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I wonder if she ever got it or not.
I don't know. I never went back. I never spoke to her again.
I wouldn't either.
No, because it wasn't like it was greediness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody died in the family. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
And she was bargaining her son for the gold.
She was bargaining with the devil. She was
Yeah.
selling
And
her
I'm
soul
like,
to the devil, I would say.
what kind of gold can
Give you
make you
happiness.
happy
Yeah,
that your son died?
exactly.
How can
Exactly.
you ever like patch that? There's no way.
No, no, no.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
I would say that. I mean, I've had bottles thrown at me. I've seen things. I've seen apparitions walk past walls, but um, I've seen things lifted in the air. But that was um, that was right through my spine. I would say my inner core.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
a genie is a genie. A genie. It's not those cute little genies you see in the bottle. No,
Mhm.
I've heard that it's no, it's not a force to be reckoned with
no.
ever.
No, if you don't know how to deal with them, because you got to go through the Quran and actually read the prayer to undo what you need to do. Because the Quran, the Bible, they're all magical books. They've got their
Yeah.
own magic in them, the magic words, the spell words. So, yep, when you read it, you got to read the Quran. But no,
Yeah. I think it's time to back away on that one.
oh yeah, this is going back, 2018.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would
That's
probably
crazy.
say if that lady's alive, she's probably not in good shape.
No, I don't know. I've never, like I said, I never,
Yeah.
never, ever. No.
It's sad and scary.
Yeah, don't blame you at all there. So we're actually getting close to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to tell everybody where they can follow you and all that stuff.
Well, they can follow me on Oracle Whispers by Kathrine Sorilos. There's the Daughters of Hecates. And on Riverside, Iowa Paranormal, on the mysterious tours that we're going into. We're going to Scotland this year. We're going to Ireland.
Wow.
And so buy your tickets for Ireland. Jenny is going to be there. We're going to Greece next year, so they can find me on all those pages, Riverside, Iowa, the pages that Candy put up there. And they can find me on my Facebook as Kathrine Sorilos.
And you said Daughters of Hecates and
Daughters of
Oracle Whispers.
Hecate, Hecate, yep.
Okay.
Together with Daughters of Hecate is myself and Michelle. We are the co-founders of Daughters of Hecates. And Riverside Iowa Paranormal, that's Michelle's the founder of that. And we're an Oracle Whispers. And of course on the world's largest ghost hunt. And yeah.
Which is coming up sooner than
On the 25th or the 24th, I can't remember, the 25th or 24th, the 25th, I think, of 24th, I think. Yep. The last Sunday of September.
That's when it was last year. It was the 24th and 25th of September. I remember.
That's right, yeah. So we're going to take it longer now. So it's going to be again like 24 hours, maybe even 48 hours.
That's awesome.
Giving each team the opportunity to be able to, thanks, Jen, to broadcast themselves out there.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. And
thank you.
All of your questions and your participation. We appreciate you and have a good week.
You too, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.